Welcome back. The trick to a good frozen pizza is a good crust. A soggy one isn't even worth the trip to the kitchen. Yet the crust is the hardest thing to get right for a thin crust pizza, which is why these pizzas aren't even half baked when they leave the factory for your freezer. It all starts with a giant lump of dough made from scratch every day for freshness. The dough is dumped into a hopper in 90-kilo batches and gets sucked into a machine that divides it into individual crusts. A blade chops the dough into 6-ounce balls that roll under a metal arm and drop into individual slots at the rate of about 90 balls per minute. The dough balls pass through the proofer, allowing the yeast to rise for 30 minutes. Then a press squishes each ball to prepare it for a second press that flattens the dough balls into pizza crusts. This press is heated to 200 degrees and uses 270 kilos of pressure to be sure that each crust is the same thickness throughout, so it will cook evenly and have a consistent crunch. Then a spiked roller punctures the dough to keep the thin crusts from blistering as they travel through the oven at a hot 315 degrees Celsius. A quick 80 seconds is all it takes to pre-bake the crust. Just enough to firm it up so it can hold the toppings, but not enough to bake it through. That way the raw crust can be baked to a crispy crunch in the oven at home. A spiral conveyor gives the firmed up crusts 30 minutes to cool. The slow ride allows the moisture content in the crust time to evaporate, locking in a consistently crunchy texture throughout. Then it's ready for the sauce. Each crust passes under an electric eye which sends a signal to the sauce head that triggers a shower of sauce to spurt onto the crust. Then the toppings ride in to take their place on top. The sausage goes first because it's the heaviest and can be held in place by the cheese. A rotating grate shakes the sausage to spread it out before it drops onto the crust. The mozzarella cheese is shredded inside a machine and then gets poured on over the sausage. Next, long sticks of pepperoni that are loaded into metal tubes move back and forth across a slicer, and the cut slices drop right onto the pizza. Finally, a mix of roasted vegetables tops everything off. For all the toppings, a recycler conveyor catches the food that doesn't fall on the pizza. The conveyor then moves the toppings along for another pass. This ensures that nothing is wasted. A 260-degree pre-melter slightly softens all of the toppings. It's not really cooking anything. It's just to melt the toppings together slightly so they stay in place during the freezing process. A final sprinkling of freshly grated cheese is added so it can fully melt when the pizza is cooked at home. Then 20 minutes in this spiral freezer chills the pizzas down to a frosty -30 degrees. The deep freeze preserves the pizza by slowly locking in the flavors of the ingredients so they can be released when the pizza is cooked. The packaging seals it all in. And whether it's baked today or in 6 months from now, these flavors can be unlocked by your oven at home. Presuming, that is, that you actually like pizza.